last week, Nelson musician Bryce Wastney released his single, Dead Men Walking, and we have Bryce in the studio with us today. Bryce, there's a bit of news about this. This single of yours has climbed the charts incredibly fast. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, we released it on Wednesday last week, and it was a digital release, so it goes out on iTunes, and we tell everyone about it on Facebook, and a lot of people must have gone on there and downloaded it. I was getting emails all over the world, coming through every 3 or 4 minutes, and someone messaged me and said, "Hey, you realise that you're on the charts? You're at number 9 on the chart on the New Zealand country iTunes charts." And so I jumped on there, and by the time I jumped on there, it climbed to number 7, and then as the days went on, it slowly got up to number 6.
Right.
So and that was, it stopped where Lady Antebellum got ahead of Lady Antebellum, and then right next to Taylor Swift. So yeah, great surprise, and yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. So it was launched last Wednesday, or released last Wednesday, and so far so good.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Now, the single is getting picked up by radio overseas. Can you tell us a bit about how that's happened and what that means for you?
Okay, well, I've recently signed a contract with a radio promotions label called Music and Film, and they have a massive network of over 50,000 radio stations that they have all enlist, and for different genres they have relationships with these radio stations, and it might be one radio station has 800 satellite stations that it feeds the music out to in different states in America. So they send out a press kit with free download of my song, and with a bio about me and a little picture, and
right.
That gets sent out to all their contacts, and then within 24 hours there was about 150 radio stations that picked it up, and then as the days went on, and with the chart going up in the charts, and also just with them sharing songs and other stations getting through their email lists and clicking on it and downloading the song, and yeah, it's climbed up to about 4,000 radio stations at this stage. We got picked up by Aruba radio station, which is a massive network. Like, it's huge. Like, it's got 8,000 satellite stations connected with it, and it feeds out. It's like a hub. So going on that has really boosted it up. And this is college radio stations. This is it's mainly FM radio stations. They're 90% FM stations. So the high quality broadcast. There's internet broadcast radio stations. There's local and a few national ones, around the states as well. So yeah, very it's amazing. I mean, I've always found it, it's quite hard to get songs onto a radio station.
Absolutely.
As you know, and being a musician yourself,
yeah.
and there's a massive line of people wanting to put their song on there, and radio programmers just don't have the energy all the time.
Right.
It's about to listen to every single song and think, will our audience like that, or will they not? They often like to just take it from a trusted source, which
That's
is
right.
Music and Film is a very trusted source and a very highly regarded record label in the States that they're really pushing my song out there, so they're delighted with the way it's going, and
right.
looking forward to
Well,
seeing where it goes.
this will have a big spin-off for you, undoubtedly, because this gives you an international audience that you haven't otherwise had in those areas. That's a huge audience. What's that going to mean for you for the future?
Well, it could mean getting on a plane and flying over to the States, and booking in a tour at some point. We get fed every week a spreadsheet of what stations have downloaded it, whereabouts they are, what market they're in, whether it's country, whether it's folk, and all that kind of thing. So we can sort of get a bit of an idea about which places are really picking it up, So once we have a good idea about which regions it's getting lots of airplay in, we're going to be following up with another single, and I submitted a new demo last night actually, which I'm excited to be starting getting work on that in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
And we're just going to follow up with more and more, and if we get some good airplay, we can base a tour around that. People know who you are when you're coming, and we can sort of work from there. But there's also there's obviously some royalties, and there's going to be some downloads as well from iTunes, which would be great. So I've got no idea where that's at the moment, but it'll be nice to find out in the next 3 or 4 months. I think that comes through.
So what about local radio stations, Bryce? Are they picking up on your single?
Well, like a lot of the More FM and the classic hits, they are satellite stations themselves, so they go through programmers in Auckland and in Christchurch. So it's very hard. They're very limited to what they can play. But I did get a really good plug on More FM the other day, and they put it on the news. And Al Columbus gave it a spin on his breakfast show. He's very supportive of local artists and their music, and so there's going to be. I'm talking with Fresh FM and a few other local stations. But I think in the next 3 or 4 weeks, while things sort of start to settle down a little bit, we'll be able to chat and get some airplay on the local radio stations.
That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now you've got a total of around 8,000 radio stations now, do you think? This is internationally, this is not just the US, is it?
Yeah, it's sort of based US at the moment. It's looking mostly about 70% US, 20% Canada, North America, and then the other 10% is sort of the UK.
So there'll be some international tours coming up for you.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you're looking at doing a bit of a local tour around New Zealand?
Yeah, we've all confirmed now for September. I'm doing a national tour with Paul Urbana-Jones.
Right.
And that's going to be amazing. And we're going to be starting in Auckland, working all the way down the North Island, going across, zigzagging down the North Island, and head across the ferry, and then we're around the South Island. We're going to head right down south and come back to Nelson. Our second to last show is going to be in Nelson.
Okay.
And
what date?
The date is, oh gosh, I'll have to think about that.
We'll announce that.
We'll announce that closer to the time.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big one. The venue is going to be the old St John's church down by the Wit. They've turned it. Right. The guys that run the Free House, have purchased the venue with the idea of turning into a live music venue.
I hear the acoustics are very
absolutely
beautiful.
Great. Yeah, it's got the big tiered seating and the big curved wooden ceiling, and so we're definitely going to be playing in there, and we're looking forward to announcing a bit more about that. And then we finish our last show in Wellington.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, then Wellington being the city that's been announced that it's slowly dying by the Prime Minister.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm sure you'll go and take Dead Men Walking with you and give them a show they won't forget.
Yeah, we'll try and share them up a little bit anyway.
Yeah. Lovely to see you again, Bryce, and we look forward to hearing more news and talking about your tour next time.
Thanks, Chrissie.